Good day to you all. My name is Samuel Nisikekeli, a level 100 student of the University of Ghana, pursuing a bachelor's degree in information technology. This video details a brief account of my lecture activities in the class of Fundamentals of Programming in my first week of school. It also captures my understanding of the material covered in the week. So in our first lecture meeting, there were two main talking points. That was programming and the types of programming. So when you're asked the question, what is programming? Programming is basically the process of creating a set of instructions that tell a computer how to perform a task. And so the most fundamental thing about writing a program is a set of instructions, like what the program is designed to do. These instructions are followed step by step to the latter by computers to solve problems and perform specific tasks. So moving on to the types of programming languages. There are three main kinds or types of programming languages, namely machine language, assembly language, and high-level languages. And machine language is basically the language of computers. It is a language that only machines understand, and it's a low-level programming language made up of binary numbers or bits. So moving on to assembly language, it is a human-only language that computers do not understand. As a result, it serves as a bridge between high-level and machine programming languages, requiring the use of an assembler. We then went on to discuss high-level programming languages. They allow for the development of a program in a much more user-friendly programming context, and is generally independent of the computer's hardware architecture. So in our second lecture meeting of that same week, we discussed four more topics, namely Git version control, the software development lifecycle, test-driven development, and the Internet of Things. So a version control system is software that tracks changes to a file or set of files over time so that specific versions can be recalled later. It also enables you to collaborate with other programmers. The version control system also has software tools that assist a team in managing changes to source code. It tracks basically every single change. So Git is an open source version control system that allows to track the changes to your projects over time. We then went on to discuss software development lifecycle, and a software development lifecycle is essentially a project management model. It outlines the various steps required to take a project from its inception to deployment and eventually maintenance. So the following steps I'm about to mention are some of the steps in the software development lifecycle which we discussed, namely the planning stage, the feasibility or requirements of analysis stage, design and prototyping stage, software development stage, software testing stage, implementation and integration, and lastly, operations and maintenance stage. The next on our list, what we discussed was the Internet of Things. And the Internet of Things, so when you ask the question, what is the Internet of Things? It is a network of connected computing devices, mechanical and digital machinery, items, animals, or people that may exchange data across a network without requiring human to human or human to computer interaction. And when you hear Internet of Things, the question that might come up most among people is, what is a thing? So a thing in Internet of Things is it refers to any natural or artificial object that can be given an internet protocol address and has the ability to transfer data over a network, including people with implanted heart monitors, farm animals with biochip transponders, cars with built-in tire pressure monitors. And there are a whole lot of other examples. So lastly, we went on to discuss test-driven development, and then in test-driven development, developing and fixing failed tests before writing new code is the basis of it, as we write small pieces of code at a time to pass tests. It helps to avoid duplication of code. The tests are nothing more than the requirement conditions that you must test to satisfy them. And also, before the application is actually developed, automated tests are created and run as part of the test-driven development process. So basically, that was all we studied. That's a brief summary of all we studied for last week's lecture. Yes, as at the time I'm posting this. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll keep you updated as we study more. Thank you again. Bye.